Good. What are some other areas in evangelicalism today where sufficiency is under attack or being weakened?
Well, I think just the mere fact that there is so little Bible preaching. Sunday morning sermons have been shrunk to hardly any time. There's more and more announcements. There's even more and more music. There's more and more this, more and more that, more and more. And it's just like a glass of water that's filled to the top. For everything you add, it displaces what was already there. And our worship services have become anything but where the centerpiece is the preaching of the Word of God. We've then canceled Sunday evening preaching. We've canceled midweek preaching. We have canceled Bible conferences. We have just canceled the preaching of the Bible across the board. And the average Christian, if they come to church, 2 Sundays a month, they only sit under about 60 minutes of preaching the Bible. But the pastors have really shown zero confidence in the power of the Word of God preached to be able to save and to sanctify. And so I think right there is really where it begins, that we have displaced the Bible from the gathering of the church. And it's interesting, Martin Luther said that the church has no reason to ever meet for anything if the Word of God being taught or preached is not in the center of that gathering. Well, that would shut down a lot of softball games. That would just shut down a lot of church programs and church activities if the Word of God being taught and preached was not in the very center of the reason the church has come together. Yeah. We want to hear from ourselves more than we want to hear from God. Wow. We want to hear from the world more than we want to hear from God. And so we really have muted God and muted Christ, who's the head of the church. He no longer is speaking to the church because we have given up on really the ministry of the Word of God. So therefore, everything else that we've talked about has been sucked into that empty space, into that vacuum.
Can I add to that just briefly, because